I know my weaknesses, but I also know what I'm good at. And generating leads, understanding leads and marketing has always been my strong suit, something that I always have done for all of my businesses and no one can take away from me. It's also most popular question on this channel. Where do you get the leads? So what are you about to watch? What I'm offering you today is oversimplified guide to lead generation in 2023. Market is changing again. It's changing every few years. Everything is changing and you have to adapt. So let's get it started. Where are the leads in 2023? Well, there's three general ways to be found. Number one is you want to be in front of the search, or you can be in front of the search. When people Google service, when they're looking for restaurants near me, roofing contractor near me, gutter companies or gutter installers, roofers, it's all searches. Are you showing up on maps? Are you showing up in their phones, on searches? It's a little bit different from social media. People don't go to Facebook per se or Instagram to look for a roofer, obviously. But number one way, obviously, it's in front of search. Google is a huge giant here. 90% of all searches happens on Google. Number two, you want to be in front of everybody's face. This day is obviously it's phone. Everyone is scrolling. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but one of the reasons so many contractors don't have leads is because you have addiction. And I consult with a lot of contractors, and I want to share ugly truth. So many contractors are hiding behind their phones. Your wife, your kids, thinking that you're working. In reality, you're scrolling through TikToks, watching porn, watching Instagram, models, watching maybe stuff you shouldn't be watching instead of working. Average time per day, screen time, is about 7 hours today. And I talk to so many contractors who cannot dedicate 30 minutes to an hour per day to create content. So I'm not saying it to shame you. I understand you. I have the same addiction. I have the same addictive personality. If I like something, I'm going to keep scrolling. It is drug. It is addiction. But I want you to really think about how can you use it for you. To be in front of everyone's face means when people scroll, do they see your content? Reverse engineer your own behavior. If you caught yourself spending too much on social media, doing too much scrolling, ask yourself, how can you be on the other side? You know that everyone is addicted these days, right? What's stopping you to create something so when people scroll, they find your face, they find your content. Maybe you can be funny, maybe you can be sarcastic, maybe you can be educational or entertainment of any kind can be produced by your company. Do that. Do that today. It's consistency, because the more you produce, the less you're going to consume. Big creators, big brands, they consume too, but they produce more. And this is the problem with the contractors these days. We all became consumers, but we don't create content. And as a result, we are not in front of anyone's faces. And companies who do in front of everyone's face, they are on top of everybody's mind. Number three, you can dominate the game. Today is easier than ever to dominate markets. If I travel anywhere in the country, if I come to Florida, I don't know, New York, I will dominate that market. I will be on top of everybody's mind. I will be in front of everybody's scrolling, and I will be on top of the search. So those are the basic principles. Now let's get into each one of them and see what are the options there. So how do you get in front of the search? Two ways here, organic or paid. If you're loaded, if you inherited millions of dollars, if your daddy bought your construction business, roofing business, whatever, good for you. Go and spend it all on ads. You will make sales from it. It's not rocket science. You call Google, say, hey, I have $100,000 a month to spend with you. What can you offer? You will be paying anywhere from, I don't know, $50 to $150 per click, but it's doable. You can buy ads these days everywhere. So you can buy ads on YouTube. You can buy ads, you know, on Google, on TikTok, on Instagram. You can buy ads in magazines. You know the game. But organic, here's what I have to say about organic. People who are creative, and not even creative, people who think outside the box, people who are willing to give their time for free, their expertise, those are the ones who dominate the game. I love quote by Alex Hermosa. I'm paraphrasing, but it goes something like this: if you're not making the money you want to make, maybe you're not as good as you think you are. There's so much truth in it because so many contractors call themselves an expert. But yet, when you ask them, why don't you make a video? Why don't you show people what you do? They can't. For example, I'm in the roofing space. You know that I would say 80% of roofing contractors would not publish their jobs online. Why? Because they're not training their crews. There's no quality control. There is no brand identity. They're subbing it all out. They don't have leverage in a game. If you want to dominate marketing, you have to become good at business too. Marketing is just a package. Marketing is how you package your business, how you show your business, but it has to be good. So you're telling me you cannot create image for your job. So you cannot create a photo session. You cannot create environment where you can film something to show them how one job is done. You want to do 100 jobs a month. Why can't you show me one job a month, how it's done? So many roofing companies don't have any content on the internet about actual installation because they don't own that part. Someone else is doing the work. And if that's you, I want you to really rethink. Maybe that's why you don't have organic content. It's so easy. Like, do you know how satisfying it is to watch people working, those nail guns working? If you go on YouTube and you type in roofing or TikTok, Instagram, platform, does not matter, and you will see a professional working with his hands, you can't stop watching. It's just like watching water running or fire burning. But yet, so many don't have it because you're the office paper pusher. That's your business. And if you want to go viral, you have to get out of your office. You have to educate people. You have to give your best expertise, and it will click. Maybe not every video will go viral. Maybe you'll have to do 100 of those. But if you do 100 videos, I promise you, one or two of them will perform really well. And later, you can transfer them into paid category, put a little money behind it, and it'll make you a millionaire. I mean, those two work really well, paid and organic, and you have to do both. Now, let's talk about how to identify your marketing opportunities. If you're getting started, you're going to get bombarded by all the marketers out there trying to sell you their services and convince you that they're the ones who you should be using to get more jobs. Well, there's a lot of noise and not everything is going to work for you. So there's three general categories. You have social media category, you have traditional marketing, which is your billboards, radio, paper, flyers, and then you have internet search-based marketplaces. That's your Angie's List, Home Advisor, Thumbtack, Yelps, all of that, Google Ads, companies like ours, Directory. So you have to figure out where you're going to do the best at in the beginning. In the beginning, you have to go for the highest return on investment, something like your website, your Facebook. That's very easy to enter, very easy to scale, has a lot of traffic already. For example, I mean, everybody knows print is dead. Flyers are dying. But it's not like they're dead completely. In some markets, I would argue, like in Florida, you can kill it with mailers, especially if we're talking about like gated communities. How are you going to reach those people? So Facebook still will beat it, but as you grow, you're probably going to be using all of these marketing opportunities. But early on, you will make a list. Let's say there's 20 on the list, and you're going to start with the top 3 and then go down from most effective to least effective, because if you only have $1,000, you cannot spend it on all. You better give it all to one place, have some return, make some money with it, and next month come back maybe with a $2,000, and it's a waterfall effect. The more you have, the more you spend. I usually spend about 5% of my budget. For example, in 2013, I was spending $50,000 a year with Angels List, but Angels List in 2013 made me $900,000 in return. Great return. Would you spend 50 grand to make almost $1 million? You probably would. But then 5 years later, I was making close to $5 million a year, and I was spending 200 to 250,000 on marketing, and Angels List was not getting any of it. It was other forms of advertising. So you have to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But those are three buckets. How you look at those, it's based on your personalities and also based on your market. For example, in Florida, you have older demographics, and we're going to talk about do your basic research. You have to study your demographics. You have to understand where you live. Like, for example, in Florida, a lot of things work that doesn't work anywhere else. In California, Yelp is king. So in California, you have to study marketplace. If I moved to LA today, I will immediately study online marketplaces. I will see where attention is. I will look at popular local media trends. I will look at popular highways, maybe look at the billboards. Listen, there's so many ways you can advertise. I see so many guys are arguing and fighting on a Facebook, like this works, this doesn't work. Someone recently called me out on vehicle wraps, like, oh, vehicle wraps don't work. Yet I just came from Florida, from Trust Roofing. Trust Roofing has been in business for 2 years. They do everything I teach, literally. The guy started the business when he was studying for his license for his exam in Florida. He was watching my videos and he got hooked. And he said, Misha, we do everything. They do Job Nimbus as a CRM. They wrap their vehicles, and they give huge credit to vehicle wraps in Florida. They got so many jobs out of it. And they're doing $7.5 million second year in business. But yet there are people in other markets, like in Colorado, who says investing in vehicle wraps is stupid. Well, if it doesn't work for you, it does not mean that it's not going to work in other markets. So study your demographics, understand who is in front of you. If your demographics is older, they're probably reading people. They probably watch more TV. If your demographic is 20, 30, if you live in a younger state, younger neighborhoods, like I'm in Minnesota, everybody around me have kids. It's a younger state. It's family friendly. Everybody's on the Facebook and social media. So I know my demographic. I know what works. I know also I'm not in Florida. I'm not in the retired community, right? You have to make a list of popular local media trends. Maybe support local sports teams, local charities, local events. Whatever is popular there, you have to be in front of it. And of course, online marketplaces. Yelp, great in Boston and LA, but it's dead in Minneapolis. Kazoo used to be great in Atlanta. Every state, every city has their own local media outlet or platform that's different from others. I was in Texas this summer with Randy from DT Roofing, and they have local guy to Texas who has their listings, and he recommends them. But he's local to Texas. No one knows about them outside of the country. So you have to study your market. By the way, when I say study and research, I'm talking about 6-8 hours a day. Like, that's it. You can do all of this in one day. If you can spend 7 hours binge watching Netflix or scrolling through a TikTok, you can do basic research. The problem is most contractors will never do it in a lifetime. This is what you start with when you open a business. And lastly, to do all of those forms of marketing and be in front of all of the people, you have to create a brand that people will remember and will love to refer. The thing about referrals is people have to remember the name. So many times, you as a contractor are not intentional about brand building. about your name. You never thought, you never brainstorm. You just put something on paper and then you start advertising it. And let me tell you, it's very hard to advertise, to get clicks and to get referrals if no one can remember your name. If it's very generic. If you have initials that mean something to you, doesn't mean that they're gonna be meaningful to other people, to your customers. And it sucks when you do a good job and people ask you, who did you work, and you can't remember. So, like, for example, Apple Roofing, everybody will remember Apple Roofing because they're a branded company and they do it really well. So you have to have a catchy name, smart slogan design, play of words, genius marketing promise. Why would people hire you? What's there for you, right? Trust Roofing have amazing one. Trust it's in their name. Stand out with colors and ideas. Create stationary branding pillars like yard signs, vehicle wraps. Put logo on everything. Put logo on the billboards. I mean, be proud to wear it, and people will remember. People will refer. So many contractors suck at it, and then they complain they don't have leads. You don't have leads because you were never intentional about the leads. You were never intentional about people remembering you. Finally, the last one is create content. Podcast, videos, images, Instagram, TikTok, everything works. I want to give shout out to True Works Roofing out of Houston. They have a podcast called Houston Roofer. I mean, Joel, these guys are just phenomenal. I've visited them. They started about 2 years ago. Brand new company. They don't look like brand new. They look like a market leader already, at least online. Their branding is on point. Why this matters? Let me tell you. You are probably addicted to consuming content. So study your own behavior. If you are doing it, so do millions of others of people. If nobody's reading, don't write a book. If you're not reading books, don't publish a book because no one reads books. But if everyone is watching YouTube, create YouTube video. If everyone is listening podcast, create a podcast. If everyone's scrolling on TikTok, start creating TikToks. Whatever works for you. But business is not the place where you can be shy. You have to throw yourself on the internet. You have to be in front of everyone because it doesn't matter how good your product, your service, how good your work is. If no one knows about you, you're not going to get hired. You're not going to take care of the customers. Even if you're best in your game, nobody will know about you. People often say that they rely on referrals. Explain to me what referral is. I would argue that this is referral. I would argue that staying on top of mind is a referral. When people are talking about you, I'll give you an example. In 2013, I moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Minnesota. I was brand new in this town for the community. We have a lot of Russians here, like about 40, 50,000. Most of my buddies, my friends, they're either siding installers or gutter installers. So I have a network, even on my Facebook, probably 10, 15 guys who do the same thing that I do. On top of that, we have same connections. Realtors, other business owners and stuff. But I remember I was so intentional about my company and my content that I did all of this. So I started YouTube channel. People were mocking me. They were laughing at me, especially in the Russian community, right? Like, who are you? Like, you're Russian. Why your channel is in English? So my English wasn't great, but I did not care. I had to get the name out. But I remember what it did to my business. I remember, I have a couple hundred friends on the Facebook, and we all have the same friends. But I remember when someone would post asking for a recommendation for a roofer, my name was constantly dropped. And we have the same friends. Keep in mind that I'm the newest player. There are plenty of guys who've been here for 10, 15 years, and they do what I do. As a matter of fact, they were subs. So in a sense, you could do business with them direct. And I was a contractor. I positioned myself as a contractor. But I got quite a few real estate agents in Russian community who started hiring me, giving me jobs, rental property, stuff like that. And I noticed in 2013, 14, 15, a lot of referrals were coming from social media because people constantly seen my content. They've seen who makes the best siding videos, LP versus James Hardy. They've seen who makes the best shingles. Like, I was putting content for people, and I was establishing myself as an expert. And when someone was asking, do you know a roofer? I was coming on top of mind, because once you see me, do business with me, you cannot unsee it. You will remember me. And maybe I had a friend who was shy, who was maybe even better than me. But when people ask for recommendation, people remember me, not him. This is how it works. I'm going to give you one more bonus in this presentation. I really want you to consider creating 3-5 believable offers. Every business should have something tangible, something that you can sell, because marketing today is very different than a few years ago. Everybody wants to sell free stuff and free inspection, but as a business, you want an engagement. You want something that tangible that people like, okay, this makes sense. I might need this. So really consider, you're not going to have a lot of sales, but it's much easier to market believable offer than vague, something wide, general offer that everybody does. So if everyone does free inspections and you offer $99 roof inspection, maybe you'll never sell it, but it looks good, and it looks good on paper, it looks good digitally, it looks good on your website. It just builds trust. There's nothing wrong with it. Just consider it. Consider to think different. Marketing is easy. It's not complicated. This is what I do. I teach contractors marketing. We have online school. You can learn all of this from me. As a matter of fact, I'm putting together a course, because as easy as it sounds, or as easy as I'm trying to make it sound, there's a lot of details, and every market is different. So I'm putting a course together. We have about 30 videos. It will be available December 28th. You can purchase it now. I'm going to put the link below. It's a 30-day course, and you probably can do it faster. It includes 3 Zoom calls with me over different markets. You can chat about your marketing, whether it's reviewing your website, reviewing what you're doing wrong, your marketing budget maybe. I want to help as many contractors as possible, because this changed my life. When I started, I did not have a budget. I didn't know how. I did not know how to advertise. And I learned it. You can learn it too. It's doable. And I believe that every company should have marketing in-house. You don't need agencies doing it for you. It's too expensive. It's going to eat all your profits. This is something that every business have to have in-house. Every business owner needs to understand what works, what doesn't work, how much it costs, because there are a lot of sharks out there. There are a lot of bad people in the marketing who will take your money and will not deliver your results. And you will become skeptical. You will not know who you can trust. I've done it. I've been burned so many times by bad website guys, social media gurus. I mean, you name them. There's so many courses out there. They'll teach you, for $2,000, $3,000. You're going to learn this. Learn from people who've done it, who had results, and who's doing it today. I'll give you an example. We have a conference, a roofing process conference. We're doing it in Orlando this year. We're going to have over 2,000 people coming. We don't run ads. We don't cold call people. We do exactly what I just showed you. I mean, it's an art. You have to be good at it, but it works. If I would open a roofing company or flooring company, any construction company, anywhere in the United States, this is exactly what I do. It works. If you want my help, if you want me to teach you one-on-one, I'm going to put a link below to my course. This is what I'm really good at. This is the best course I've ever put together. 2023 is going to be very different from last few years, because a lot of players are going out of business, and there are a lot of new rules to marketing in 2023. I think, and this is my prediction, that TikTok is going to go away this year. I think it'll be banned. But what you can learn, if you can learn how to make TikToks, you can do it in the reels on Instagram and shorts on YouTube. So the skill will be used elsewhere, even if platform goes away. So don't get discouraged. If you have millions of followers on TikTok, don't get discouraged. If you have skill to produce content on TikTok, you will be just fine. That's just my prediction. Comment below what you think. I'm going to read every single comment on this video. If you have a question for me, ask below and I will answer it. See you guys in the next video. Have fun.